Coming back to our clash, though, it has concluded with a 2-1 victory for Zambia after Tabitha Chawinga pulled one back for Malawi. Your overall impressions, Indira, you did say that you are both hoping that Malawi does score.
I said the moment Malawi scores a goal, that's when Malawi was going to come alive. And I think it just happened a little bit too late in the game. There was an opportunity, Simwaka, that could have, sealed it in a 12 draw. But just waiting for the standings so that we can understand what's going on.
I think also in they've created a lot of chances, as like Beskulmile before Oguti. Mabafika like 70-something iskati ula bakora khona magol. As for Zambia, I feel like they were too relaxed. Where Chawinga sisters, they managed to exploit the space on the wing. Now they started to play their normal game.
Was it a little too late, though, for Malawi to try to pull that comeback? Because you did say, Andisiwe, but in Malawi, they tend to score late. But this time around, not really benefiting them because they weren't able to score the many goals that they could have.
I'm trying to understand because kuma game wonke abadlalile bakora ngalesi sikhathi lesi vele but namhlanje ngathi bekungahlangani kakhulu between there was a gap between the defense and the midfielder, which is it was forcing Chawinga twins to drop too deep, and now in the last 75-78 minutes, that's where they stay up again, and the defenders they tried Uguti push it up whenever they win the ball, because we know that Uguti badala leapola a lightning counter, which is they want to play the ball behind the defenders.
But also just to add on to that, I mean, when you look at Malawi playing against so this looks like Malawi has gone through.
Because that's why they're celebrating at the moment.
Yeah, well, well done to Malawi.
Which is big, Indira.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Look at debutants, it's their first time at this continental stage. And, I mean, the accounts they've given themselves 2 wins, big win against Nigeria, and then this 2-1 loss to Zambia.
No, 100%. I think now it makes them the 3rd team that debuts in a WAFCON and makes it through to the knockout stage, and the 3rd COSAFA team. I think it speaks volumes about what the COSAFA region is doing in terms of women's football and the development and the leaps and bounds it's going through. So I'm really happy for a Malawian team. I mean, it was very tight.
Possession, I was hoping we could see like Malawi is a position Zambia, because in the last 75 minutes I feel like they were knocking the ball, and hence they managed to create more chances even though they couldn't convert it. And also like building from the back, they've managed to build up from a mover and try to play it wide to the Chawinga sisters. But I hope I'm getting very emotional right now because, to be honestly speaking, I really want Malawi to progress to the next stage because they deserve it.
No, they truly deserve it. The amount of work they've put in this tournament so far, it's a beautiful story to tell and to see how much they've progressed. And we'll talk about the coach and the work that he's done with this national team. But we look at Barbara Banda, who is the player of the match, and how influential she's been. Let's hear her speaking, though, after the encounter, after scoring that goal in the 2nd minute.
Because we really wanted to win. This is why we came in with full force. And I think my team, we dominated the game. We were on top of the game. So I think as a team, we've done great so far.
Do you think, was there any point of the match where you think the results could go either way and you find yourself out of that contention for the next round of the competition?
Yeah, we're looking forward to the table so that we see who is leading the table. Unfortunately, waiting for Nigeria and Egypt. So we are calm and focused. Thank you.
And this is her contribution in this encounter, starting with that goal in that 2nd minute.
Yeah, look, Barbara was very influential. She spearheaded from the front as a captain, and that goal just really puts Zambia in a way where they knew that they had the game. She was creating a lot of challenges. She was going up front. She was taking a lot of shots. So she should be very proud. Unfortunately, don't think that they progressed. But I mean, her playing without a Kundananji also, because normally we know her and Kundananji and Chanda up front, you know, really doing the things for Zambia. But I think this is individual brilliance.
But also in there, I think the 23-year-old Upiri, I think she came in at that moment.
Definitely.
I think she also plays a role because there was a moment I created more crosses and free kicks.
Yeah, and I think, you know, Piri really also made a statement when she came on. I think it was the Egyptian game where she scored the last goal. I mean, you could see the fire and her wanting to come off the bench, and you know, her getting a start was great. She had a phenomenal game.
They had a phenomenal goal indeed. But overall, just looking at the Zambia WAFCON in total, because now they're looking at a quarterfinal exit in the previous edition and exit now in the group stages.
It's going to be hard for Nora. Also understanding, you know, she did, after the last WAFCON, she did take a step back from the national team and came back due to issues. So it'll be very interesting to see what's going to happen with her, with the national team. But I'm sure that the Zambian players are going to feel very hard done by because they really did push. I mean, beating a Malawian team that was on fire since the beginning of the tournament was great. But unfortunately, it's those games that you lose and the goals that you concede and the goals that you don't score that count the most.
Yeah.
It happened in there because also Malawi came here bafuna ukwenza history because they never qualified before. With Zambia, I know they're going to go back home and go back to the drawing board and try something.
And let's now see how the group statistics have played out with the game against Egypt and Nigeria having finished with a 4-2 scoreline. The final group standings, Malawi making history, securing a first berth in the quarterfinals of this continental showpiece. Nigeria, 10-time champions, really had to pull from everything to be able to see that Q next to their name.
No, 100%. And I think for Malawi, this will be a big wake-up call for them going into the knockout stages. Plan A is not working. We need a plan B. We can't always depend on the Chawinga sisters. If it's not working, we need to find another outlet. And it's gonna get tougher. I mean, they are probably going to match up against a Cameroon or a Mali, not a Cameroon, maybe a Mali or Ghana, depending on what the outcome of the game is. So it's going to be match pound to pound, and they need to come up with better strategies to be able to, you know, make it work.
I think also in there, for them changing the formation that they played in the last two games, because if you look at the last two games, they were playing more of like 4-2-3-1 with that two CDMs that were holding so that they don't concede a lot of goals. And also, I mean, they have the strength in there and also they have the pace. I think it's something that they should go back and do their analysis with the team that you're going to play against, because even though but depend on more kuma Chawinga twins, sisters, sorry, but I believe with the whole team, the way in the tournament, I think change anything.
It becomes an even difficult pill to swallow because it also means that they haven't qualified for that 2027 World Cup. But let's start where it all started for Zambia, and it looked good initially, having scored that goal in the second minute, started fast off the blocks.
Yeah, and I think that's where Malawi was caught sleeping. A very critical stage of the game. And what's so good is that it was quick passes, quick transition, quick play, quick movements. And that's how Malawi got caught. In the beginning, we did speak about a Malawian midfield that is very empty. Sometimes there's big gaps. They're not coming to the balls quick enough, and they're very reactive. And this was exactly that. And then, you know, they were very lucky that another 2 or 3 goals didn't come after that, because Zambia kept probing for a good 15-20 minutes against the Malawian side.
We were obviously watching the two sisters, Temwa and Tabita, and in the 28th minute, we see one of the sisters, Tabita, making an attempt to at least try and salvage a difficult first half for her side.
Yeah, I think it speaks to what, Andisiwa, you were saying, that they're finding the Chawinga sisters up front. It's just a pass from either the centre back, the right back, all the way to the front. So again, she didn't have a great start. Both of them didn't have great starts, but it just also spoke to the Zambian defense, how they were hounding the two sisters, and having at least a sweeper in case the ball spilt over and there was someone else to pick it up.
And also in the game le mayiqala lonwabo ama sisters every time abaphethe ibhola they will make sure ukuthi babamakha ngabantu abayi-2 so that make it 2v1. But with this one I korile uThabitha also is a similar goal lika Barbara because I would say it was like individual brilliant because also makayokora lapha it was 3v2 even if like beyangakhona ukora there was a player that was going maka attacker naye.
Utemwa Usisiga Tabitha then shows again the quality of these sisters in the 34th minute, dangerous when she has the ball.
Yeah, look, I think we can commend both the sisters because they worked really hard in this game. Unfortunate one, maybe she could have laid the pass to her sister, but I think because there were so many green bodies in that box, she wasn't able to pinpoint her sister. And I think at this point, they were playing out of desperation. You could see some of the decisions were a bit skewed. Normally, you'd see the clinical finishes, the passes, the transition. But yeah, unfortunate well, now that they're through, I'd say fortunate. But for Temwa in that instance, I mean, she could have had another goal in her name.
I think Lonoba, that's the reasoning. It's ukuthi baya deserve. Like progress to the next stage and look at like the way they were not getting anything but they grind like
fighting spirit.
Yes, until the end of the game. So like I'm so happy.
And you never dangerous though when you look at some of these teams. You look at a Barbara Banda in the Zambian team, you look at the sisters in the Malawian team, and of course you can go on and on. Tembi Khatlana in the Banyana team relying on certain players. What then happens when the two sisters are being covered and now they're not finding the spaces but no one else is showing up? Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. We need a plan B. They need a plan C, the D, E, F. Plan A wasn't working, and you could see that even the changes that they were trying to do, they were still sticking to plan A, finding the Chawinga sisters. Obviously, they're a lot more experienced. They have been through this type of pressure, you know, playing in the European leagues and the South American leagues. But yeah, Lovemore needs to come up with a plan to really find a way to get the midfielders working. Either we stretch them out, because we've seen with the Zambian side, when you stretch that defense out and you play it back into the middle, it becomes a bit of a 50-50, unsure what we need to do. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, also the Zambian goalkeeper was absolutely stellar today. I think she was very alert, very awake. It's just how does Lovemore then transition into finding a plan B when plan A is not working? And
now this plan B needs to happen during the tournament. It's these players that he's been with Andisiwe since October 2025.
I think Lonabo, as bangishilo qaleni ukuthi why ba change information ebasebenzele maqala tournament, because now they are the team that like playing the ball from the back wide. As like Zambia and Malawi, they're playing similar football and same teams. They have two attackers that they have pace, so they must go back to the 4-3-1.
The first half continued, and we saw in the 37th minute the Zambian dominance in this Southern Africa derby as Upriska scores in the 37th minute.
Yeah, we speak about this, the Malawian defense caught sleeping, caught running back towards their goals, not scanning. And it was an easy finish, for a clinical finish. Even the goalkeeper Mercy being beaten a near post, I think is also slightly poor. But also that centre-back, Madise, she was running towards the goal, not even scanning, and, you know, Chilufia was left, you know.
My problem with me in the Lapayana Maupega, it's 5 red t-shirt versus 2 green t-shirt. So which is like as I'm a defender, there's no communication because one player, look at the goal about Corin, it's a first pole. So there's no communication. No one is commanding on that defender. The goalkeeper probably is not commanding. No one is a captain in defense because how can they score if like they have 5 red t-shirt? Look, 5 red t-shirt, and they have now 3. Look at even the number 25, the way Akijimanga corner. You can tell Uguti, there is no one. Look at number 7. Look at the run. Like they are not even forcing them Uguti banga kori. Like they are just chilling like sisamol. Yeah.
And as we were saying, Andisiwe, le game exposed the lack of experience at the stage where we saw that okay, this is what debutants looks like versus a side that's been at the WAFCON a number of times.
Yeah, look, I think also we mentioned in the beginning Rose not being there due to her red card. I personally feel like it was a big blow to that defensive line because you could see in the full first half, there was no structure, there was no dictating from the back. Everybody was just, scrambling to mark Barbara Banda, but how are we marking her? And she just was able to go free. But I think also a big good thing that Zambia was doing is Belumo was coming up front from the right back, but you have the left back that was tucking in while they were switching. If one goes, one covers, and I think they were getting it right because the transition, whenever Malawi was then attacking, they had numbers. So yeah, Malawi going into the next stage, they must really, really focus on that defense. Although they have the Chawinga sisters we know that they can score the goals, but if you're not going to defend the goals,
it becomes problematic.
100%.
And we'll see what their route in the quarterfinals looks like as we conclude the show. But for now, we've summed up the first half. Plus, we will look at the second half and how it played out at the Al Madina Stadium.